you were sitting on a deal. You kind of knew, okay, I need to give this guy some free leads. You were doing a lot of stuff that other people are doing, which is too many, too long. And you told me in your text, you're like, dude, I didn't even think this guy was interested. Like, I didn't even know where he was at. So just so everybody knows, this is somebody who, if I understand this correctly, Sean, you knew that giving leads up front was a good idea, but you just didn't know where to go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us from that point when you're like, hey, I'm going to turn this guy into a flat fee. Like, how did that go? How did that conversation go?
It started off with me just checking in. Like, yeah, I stopped sending him leads because I didn't even know he was interested. And then so it's like I had him for like, I think 3 weeks. I stopped for like, it was just on and off. Like I didn't know, I was just sending him occasionally. And then I just asked him like, how did you go with the leads? Because I already wanted to put him on the Zoom. As soon as I like figured out this process, I was like, okay, next stage, get him on the Zoom. So I said, how'd you go? And then he was like, oh, I already closed like 3. And like I only gave him 8 leads and each job is like I think like 5K, something like that. So I was like, all right, let's have a chat. And then like send him the screencast, all that stuff. But a lot of it was like he was kind of already sold, but it's like I feel like if I just said, hey, do you want to do $1,000 a month for this, it's not going to have the same effect without going through the process of like the screencast plus the Zoom close. And then also like one thing about it was he was only getting 10 leads, which is why I thought that's not enough, right? So like when I actually did the Zoom close, I said, I'm going to give you 10 leads a month at this rate. And he was like, yeah, too easy.
So you ended up selling them at $1,000 a month for 10 leads. And previously you thought you couldn't even pitch flat fee until you got 30 a month, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It kind of pisses you off. You're like, how much money have I actually left on the table?
Well, the funny thing is when I was doing the Zoom close, I didn't actually have his numbers because I was like, oh, I only know about the fencing industry. I don't know how much like you get from the pool fencing. So he like corrected my numbers. And then I looked at it and I was like, wait, because he said he could get a 60% close rate. So he was like making $9,000 a month. And I already had in my head, like, I was like, I'm going to do 1,000. So I was like, I still said 1,000, but I was like, I definitely could have done like 2,000, I reckon would have been pretty reasonable.
And you're good on that. I believe like if you sell him a reasonable thing, because let's be honest, his close rate's probably not really 60%. It's probably 60% on his referrals because that's probably all the deals he gets.
Yeah.
But if it's not 60, that it's going to account in and he's not going to feel like he's getting shortchanged. So I don't think it's a bad thing. Hit him with 1,000, but yeah, you probably could have gone 1,500 deals. So what's the biggest thing for you, like that having a process is done? Because I know before, like you just said, before it was like you were literally just sending, hoping that they would one day be like, hey, can I give you my card? Guys, these guys aren't going to give you their card. They're not going to reach out and offer to pay you. They're going to keep milking that thing as long as this thing goes. They're just going to keep milking it and milking it and milking it. And dude, guy had closed 5 jobs you didn't even know about. You sent him 8, he closed 3.
Yeah.
And he hadn't told you, you had to follow up, right?
I had to ask him. Yeah, I was like, how did it go?
It's mind-blowing for some of us because they're like, dude, if somebody sent me referrals, I would reach out and be like, yo, I closed that deal. Thank you. Dude, these guys don't think like that. They don't think like that. They just want to suck. They want to suck you dry. So you send him leads, like maybe somebody in here, they've been sending leads. They don't know what the next step is. Did you just hit him up and say, hey, let's have a chat. Let's have a Zoom chat. Did you call him? Like, what was the next step once you decided, hey, I'm going to go for this?
Yeah, essentially. It was more like, is this guy getting value out of it? Right. So as soon as I knew he sold, like he closed something, then I was like, okay, then let's have a chat and actually sort out a deal. But like for me, it was like, just know he's getting value out of it. And then that's where I felt confident to just put him on the Zoom. Because it's like, then we kind of know it could be a good fit. And then we can kind of discuss, you know, if he's happy with the price, then we can talk.
Was this guy paying for ads when you originally contacted him?
I don't think so. He's never done advertising. That was another thing where I thought I positioned myself wrongly from the very start, where I was saying like, oh, could you help me out? I need to get these leads served. And then he thought I was just a fencing company trying to, you know, pass on jobs. And so he didn't even know about like, that's why he wasn't even telling me about following up, because he didn't know I was trying to make money out of it, basically.
Isn't that interesting? Because I know that's like one of the scripts in one of the other groups, like come in and act stupid and pretend like I got this site. It's like, no. Or you could go in with the script and say, hey, look, dude, I'm going to give you 3 leads. You're going to go run them. We're going to talk in 3 days. I'm looking for a long-term partner. I'll give you the free leads, but that's what I'm looking for. Just so you don't think I'm pulling the wool. And how much more effective is that?
Yeah, 100% more effective.
I don't know why people do that. Like, you guys think like these guys aren't stupid. They may want to take your money and not call you, but like if you think that there's ever a deal, like there's never such thing as something for nothing. Never. Like no matter what the situation is. So you guys think that you're being smart using this stupid script of like, I'm gonna act like I have this site and whatever. I don't even know what's happening. I can't remember what they call it in the other group. It's stupid.
That can you help me out? Like even that phrasing.
Don't use that, because then they're gonna feel like they're doing you a favor. You're like, bitch, you ain't doing me a favor. I'm hooking you up.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You gotta have that mentality, and that's the truth.